Okay, record on this computer. Recording. How do I get it off my face? Okay, cool. Recording. How are you
Hello.
going, man? How are you going, Jai?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm going pretty good. We were just talking before about how we're in this weird limbo mode at the moment where we kind of have no proper schedule, but we also have random little things in our schedule too. So it's not like a proper day. You might just have two things scheduled per day, and then the rest of it is free time. So it's been weird. I haven't been able to properly relax like I normally would and just like have a nap because I know I have nothing to do. I would still be like on edge because I'd be like, oh, I've got to open that Zoom at that time. And the other day I got the time wrong. I told everyone the wrong time for a Zoom, and then that full on someone messaged me, and then I got so stressed out because my friend arrived at the front door at the same time. And I was like, this is like, why is this stressful? It's meant to be my quarantine time.
Hey, Jared, if you just
Anyway,
turn around, you can have a look at the Golden Gate Bridge and just chill out.
that's true. Awesome. Yeah. How have you been adjusting to this new kind of work-life balance?
Yeah, it's definitely put my routine out of balance, but truth be told, I've been pretty excited about it. I think for me, I've been working so hard and it's been pretty hard to sort of stay on top of everything. And sometimes it feels like there's no end. So it's pretty amazing to have the breaks stop for me and then everything just comes to a standstill. And then it's like, I don't know what's happening. It's just like this weird, I don't know, new territory, I guess. So I think it's just really exciting for me in a sense of just something new and something that I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to take away like the seriousness of it all. And I know like everyone's like so many people losing their livelihoods and their health and all that kind of stuff. But just in my situation, like, yeah, I guess it's affected me financially, but I think I'm still pretty strong.
Mm. I think I'm in a similar boat where actually, yeah, this shake up has probably been good for me on an individual level. Obviously, it's bad for a lot of people, but for me, just yeah, it's forcing me to slow down. I think I've talked to you about that at length. I think about how wild everything always is, and I just need something to force me to stop. And it seems like this has been it. I
Yeah, and
realize
here
I
it is.
haven't introduced you properly, but I'll just let you do that yourself because you'll do that better than I can. Tell everybody
Oh, yeah.
what you do.
So, guys, my name is Jai. If you didn't know yet, I am a wedding photographer and an educator based over in Melbourne, Australia. And I have a podcast, which is Make Your Break. Got a wedding photography business called Free the Bird, and I do all my other stuff under my own name, which is Jai Long. And I have been bumping in with Jared, I guess, for the last couple of years as our paths cross on random different tangents of different projects that we got going on, and things just seem to align, which is really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm just a chiller, I guess.
You're downplaying it a bit. I think what sets Jai apart from other people in the industry is it's not just the photography, which is amazing at, and it's not just that he is a strong wedding photography business. Is you're very if this entrepreneur mindset is like hammered into you, so it's not only just having your own small business and just running with that. You're always looking to how you can grow things and expand things and have different revenue coming in from different places and optimizing the way you do things. And you're very passionate about educating other people on how to do that as well. So you've built this whole empire of different things, and I think that's what makes you like really unique and someone to look up to.
I think we probably get along a lot as well, Jared, because like I always see you getting the most out of every opportunity that comes your way. And that's kind of, I feel like the way that I like to run life is like if I'm getting an opportunity, then I'm trying to get not just the opportunity, but I'm trying to get like micro opportunities out of that one thing to sort of maximize like the impact of whatever it is. And it's not on purpose. It's just the way that my brain is kind of wired. And I guess I guess I am a really passionate person. And then when I set my mind to something, I'm so passionate about doing that thing. So right now it's like education and it's like photography and things like that. Just gets me really excited.
Is that exhausting though? Because I find that fairly exhausting, that mindset where, yeah, you look for too many opportunities. You know, if somebody, yeah, wants me to shoot their wedding in Chicago, I'll already be thinking, okay, well, who else do I know in Chicago? What brands do I know that might want some photos in Chicago? And then it turns into like something harder to, like, much too much to handle than a simple project.
Absolutely, man. I don't actually know why, like, we both think like that. But like for instance, I did a workshop a little while ago in New Zealand and I was only there for like 2.5 days. And for 2 days I was doing a workshop. And I realized I was like, okay, I'm going over there. My flight's already paid. I've got half a day to kill. So I contacted Together Journal to do like an editorial. I contacted someone else to do like a style shoot. I contacted a couple of brands to work with. And then when I went over there, I had no time before or after the workshop really, because I was just like hustling. And then when I was like teaching the workshop, I was like, you know what, guys, like, because most of the people that came over was from Australia. And I'm like, just to show you like how much I'm always hustling. It's like, I've come over here for 2.5 days, but these are all the things that are going to get done by the time I'm flying home, because I didn't want to waste that opportunity of like, I'm already in New Zealand. I'm already meeting those, that network.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just froze for a second. Yeah, and are you happy with the level it's at and how much you're doing, or do you wish that you could probably dial it down 10% and not feel bad about it?
To be honest, I think it's taken me a long time to come to terms with my true self and actually like allowing myself to do what I want to do what I love doing without feeling bad, because there's so many influences that tell me like from the outside, it could be my sister or my mom or someone that will say like, you're a workaholic, you should stop working, you need to take more time off, and they'll start projecting things onto me, and then I feel bad about like not working too much, but like doing too many projects. But I think it came to a point where I was like, no, this is the level that I run at. And if I'm not doing this, if I try and take a day off, like I'm just in my head and, I don't feel amazing. So now I just say, if someone says like you work too much, I say, no, I don't. I do what I love and I do it all the time, the only reason why I do it is because I love it. And the second I stop loving it, I will stop doing it. But I'm so confident and comfortable in myself that I know my threshold too. So I know how much I can take on before there's too much stress, and I know when to say no. And I know it's like a fine line, but I will get to the point where I say like, no, that's, I've got 10 things going on that day. I can't do anymore.
Mm. Well, I guess the workload has shattered a little bit in this current environment. So your primary business is the wedding photography, and I
Yeah.
assume you've been hit with
It's,
a lot of
it's pretty much dead.
cancellations. Yeah,
Yeah.
How's that like? How are you dealing with that, and what's been the vibe in the like wedding photography community? Because I'm not really like in that, but I know a lot of friends, who are kind of part of this wedding photography community, but not me so much. But
Yeah.
yeah, how's everyone like? What's the read of the room?
Look, I think to be honest, it's kind of split people in half in terms of the way that people react. And I found like I started scrolling on a few Facebook groups this morning because a couple of people added me to a couple of Facebook groups. And then just looking at like what people are posting and stuff like out of fear, it's kind of scary the way people react, and they start bringing so much negativity and telling people what to do and telling people like their opinion, and their opinion is the right way. And when I look at that stuff, I'm like, man, like that shouldn't be happening right now. So many people are vulnerable and fragile. And so many people, like, you don't know what's on the other end of the Facebook, so you don't know what they're going through and how much they've lost and all that kind of stuff. And I think in a time like now, you have to have positivity, and people just run so much better on, getting positive feedback. So for instance, instead of saying to people like, you should stay indoors, like this person's outside, and trying to tag him and like shut him down, it's not really bringing any kind of, positivity to the world or to that person. But if you just say like, hey guys, it's amazing that 80% of the Australian population is staying indoors right now. Like, congratulations for being an amazing community, and congratulations for the wedding photographers that are stepping up and like counseling work themselves so they're not spreading anything. Then it's totally different because you're spreading like a positive message, but then people would actually listen to you as well. So I think like in the wedding photography community, it's really kind of some people that I thought were like industry leaders. I feel like now I'm like, oh, that's a crazy way to react to this and to like put people down. And other people are really like responding really well. And I guess putting their hand out, even though they've got nothing, and helping people. And that's been incredible to see, like a community of people like helping people like this, you know?
That's something I've talked about with some others, recently, is like this kind of situation, a crisis situation, is like it just strips everybody back, and you can start seeing, what kind of people you want to be inspired by, and that you want to follow.
Mm,
And it's even a chance for yourself to look at yourself and be like, what kind of person do I want to be when everything has gone wrong and no one knows what to do? Like, who do I want to be in this situation? Do I want to be someone that's, you know, gone psycho and bringing negativity, or do I want to be the kind of person that other people look at and say, that person has good ideas and they're level-headed and they're supporting us, so we'll look to them. I think
yeah,
it's a good
it
opportunity.
definitely it is. It's definitely like the make or break kind of thing. And you know, some of the groups that I've been following, I've had to like get out of them because for my own well being, my own mental health, it's like I can't deal with too much negativity like that. So for myself, like I need to like put the blinkers on and just realize like no, that's I just don't listen to that stuff anymore. And I don't want to be here to fix the world or anything. I just want to stay in my lane. And if anyone reaches out for help, I can give them my positive outlook to it.
What's it like financially with wedding photographers at the moment? I know that, I in my head, I guess some weddings are just gone, but most people, I mean, they're still going to
Mm.
have their wedding and they're still going to get married, so they're just postponing them. But then are they having to downsize the wedding because of new costs? Like, how's this mess going on?
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of first world problems happening at the moment with wedding photographers because let's be honest, wedding photographers get paid good money. Um,
Hmm.
so right now, like I think when everything kind of fell apart, like I actually had about $100,000 go out of my bank account like straight away because I had cancellations, I had workshops that finished, I got another business that was just like cancellations, everything. I had about 15 weddings that just stopped, which I'm in like middle of my wedding season right now. So it's a really hard pill to swallow. And right now in my bank account, I think I've got about $2,000 and I have staff. And so it's hard for me to look that we won't make it past like next week unless we like hustle something and do something. So I guess financially for me, it's like really hard. And I know a lot of people in this position. And in terms of like the government grant and stuff like that, like I don't get the Centrelink. I can apply for like a tax credit, and at the moment I don't have enough money to pay tax. So it's like, okay, I don't know if that's going to help me so much. Um, in terms of like everybody else, like I think everyone's taken a big hit, and I definitely won't downplay that. If you're a sole trader, the government's definitely helped, and you can in Australia you can go and get some welfare, and I think it's really easy to sign up to right now. And I heard a lot of people are doing it, and they've doubled the rates and stuff, so that will get people through. But I also really hope people take their finances seriously from here because I put a lot of resources out, like free ebooks and stuff on like cash flow and things like that, and no one ever wants them. Obviously, everyone wants to like download the
I
Instagram
downloaded.
hacks.
No, I downloaded your cash flow
Yeah,
one.
yeah, nice. But I think like now more so than ever, it's like the reason why I put together those cash flow things is because I was at a time when everything's just skyrocketing, and I know that doesn't last forever. And so it's important that we make sure that we live in our means, because for example, like some wedding photographers right now, they have got $100,000 cars and they get it on a loan. And then when stuff like this happens, like it's pretty hard to be sustainable when you're living an extravagant lifestyle, I guess. So yeah, I think it's just like a bit of a reset button. And to be honest, the people that are going to lose the most are people like myself, like that charge a little bit more and have been around for longer. And the people that are going to rise up are going to be new wedding photographers that are just starting out or they couldn't crack into the market. And I think it's really important right now for those wedding photographers to get out of their comfort zone and really make use of like this amazing opportunity that's right in front of them. Like I wouldn't be sitting on my hands right now and letting the world, take me over. I would be taking over the world because it's it's a once in a lifetime opportunity right now. And if you just started a business, it's incredible.
That's refreshing, man. Haven't really heard that insight before, but you're right. Yeah, this is like a great leveler. It's knocking everybody down. So
Mm,
all these people that have risen up and they're charging premiums and they're sorted. They don't have to go out and hustle anymore because people come to them. Suddenly, like,
exactly.
yeah, now's your chance if you're just starting out, just to like
Yeah. So people
go
like
out
me have
there,
to go back
take
and start hustling.
it. Are
No,
you
it's really important to like, yeah, put that message out there as well, because like one thing that I noticed in the Facebook group that I was looking at was people were saying like, I bet you after this is going to be a lot more wedding photographers and it's going to be a lot harder and stuff, and they're getting real bitter. But the thing is, like, there's a cycle to everything, and like for myself, if I'm up the top, I need to come down and I need to make way for other people, because that's just a natural progression. Otherwise, it's the same people all the time doing the thing, and it's unfair on everything. I think like you need to have. When I rose to the top, someone else came down. So I needed that to happen for me to get there, and it needs to happen again. And I can move on to different industries, and I've got the knowledge to do start again. Like there's no problem there.
what are you doing at the moment to hustle? Are you trying to hustle different things, or what's your focus on right now?
Yeah, so I've been working a lot on education, and so right now even though I should be hustling stuff that is going to make me money. I've been hustling a lot of free stuff, so just giving away as much free content as I can, doing the live videos like whenever I can, doing my podcast whenever I can, because I think people right now, they need that support and they don't need me to sell anything. And I know when the time's right, like people will come and support me, with the stuff that I've got. Because for myself, like I know that I have online courses and stuff for wedding photographers, but the thing is, I've been doing it for 7 years and I've got a successful career. So I actually know the things that actually work that I wish was around. So it's just like, if I create these things, it's an incredible opportunity for somebody, because now they can just skip all the crap that I had to go through and they can go, oh, here's the thing. And then from that, they can build even higher and like take it to another level, which I get really excited about as well. So hustling right now, I'm definitely working on some online courses for the future, but it's a little bit at a standstill at the moment because I'm just working on my own, and things are pretty slow.
Yeah, how is it with your setup? Because you have your apartment and your office right next to each other, and you normally have a bunch of people in there.
Mm.
Is that what, have you changed that up, or?
Yeah, so we've actually got one of my best friends is staying with me as well, because he moved to Melbourne and needed a place to stay for a couple of days. Then he got locked in, and he can't like move into a new place. But my staff at the moment are all working from home, and if I do need them, they'll come in and they'll just come in for like an hour or two or something. But they're all just working from home, so we're starting to. I'm feeling pretty lonely because usually I work with 6 other people in my studio, and now it's just like Lilu and I just working away.
Hey, coming back
Yeah,
to you're talking about mistakes and and trying to help people to skip all those mistakes.
yeah.
What do you think are a couple of the common mistakes or like misconceptions that people breaking into the industry have, even about money or business? Because I know that you're very passionate on that topic too.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things that people allow themselves to hold them, actually, I'll say a couple of them. One of the biggest things that people allow themselves to hold themselves back on is they say that the market's oversaturated and there's too much going on. And there is everything, their view is pigeonholed, because all they're doing is looking at my business or they're looking at someone else, and they're seeing that I've already done it. And then, I'm getting so much work that, that's all there is for everybody. And I could say, like, that's just not true. We have 25,000 weddings in Australia a year. There's so much work. There's always so much work. It's just that you need to innovate. Like, you need to step up and not be lazy. And you got to innovate and create a new way or a new product or present it in a different way. And I think that's really key, is not allowing like your circumstance to be your story and lean on something like that. Like, there's too much competition. because there simply isn't too much competition. There's so much work out there, and I find it all the time. Even all my friends that say there's no work, I still keep finding work because I'll just innovate wherever I can to make sure that keeps happening. So I think that's one thing. I think another thing, like financially, like especially when you first start out, you can think like a wedding photographer makes a lot of money, but there is a lot of tax. There is 6 months of no work. There is so many obstacles. There's gear and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's really important to actually pay yourself first before you pay your tax and your suppliers and everything, even if it's just a small amount, and then have yourself like a wage, even if it's like $100 a week or something. So you got something to live off and you know what it is. And then from there, like everything else can be your business, and then it can be the tax and it can be the rent and all the things. And if you do it that way, it means you hopefully won't have to get out credit cards and stuff like that, because you'll be able to save enough money in your business to pay your taxes and buy some gear and stuff like that, and not put yourself in a situation that's going to like hinder your business and cost you a lot more money. So I think being like resourceful like that, especially when you first start, like every dollar counts, and actually paying yourself something. I think that those two things I think are really important.
Nice, man. Well, I think we've covered tons of stuff, really short and sweet, and that'll be like a great little recording to put up somewhere. I especially like the parts about, yeah, like that this is like actually an opportunity, especially for younger guys coming up.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
I've had the mindset of it's a general opportunity for everyone to like slow down and reassess, but I think you are right that it's a huge shakeup. So yeah, you could really rise up through the cracks if you put your mind to it now. Does anyone
Yeah,
have
man.
any
Like
Oh, sorry.
think about yourself, Jared. Like even like 10 years ago, did you even think about a recession? Like, did you even care that you got paid money? Like, were you literally
Yeah,
just whatever opportunity
exactly.
you're fucking on that, you know? So, I
Yeah,
mean, if you're in
that
that
is
hustle
right.
mentality, like,
Yeah,
exactly.
if you're on the bottom of recession and the bottom of like a boom time is the same thing. You still have nothing.
Mm,
So you can only go up anyway. And
exactly.
to do it now when everyone's down, that's that's a great time. I guess it's kind of like if you were a new entrant into the share market. If you just started right now, if you started looking to like investing,
Hmm.
you'd be now's the time, now's when everything has gone down and crashed. Now's when you jump in. Much better than jumping in when everything's riding high.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Hey, has anyone got
Does
any
anyone want
questions?
to? Yeah.
There's
Let me
not
just
a
see.
bit
I'm just
awkward
reading the
silence
chat.
right there.
I'm just reading the chat. Michael, what did you write? Seen a lot of weddings deferred longer beyond a year because people are losing their jobs. Yeah. Hey, what are you finding with weddings? Are you finding that they like what in your situation, what percentage of weddings have been postponed, or have any just outright said we just can't afford it you anyway, even if we do not have it
Mm.
later?
There's been a few that they just stopped it. They just cancelled it, and they said like, we've lost our job and we'll reassess when we come back. And then most of them have rescheduled for 6 months time. And then if I can't do it in 6 months time, I just said we'll talk about it and we can reschedule again.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
suppose that's all you can
it's
do.
definitely going to be.
You can't make any concrete plan now because
Yeah.
who knows how long this goes for. I think that's a tricky thing for everybody. Even for my plans, I had a few months of touring cancelled, but anything from kind of July onwards hasn't kind of stayed there. But you don't know if it's going to stay there, and you also don't know if
Mm,
something that was postponed is going to want to compete with those existing dates as well.
yeah, it's going to be
And so
a bit wild.
I think we just can't worry about that yet. There's no point trying to stress about that part yet, because we can't make any conclusions until a bit later.
Yeah. Does
Cedric
anyone else
just
have any
logged on.
last questions?
Oh, hang on. All right, we might be good. Well, I'll stop the recording at least, because I think that's good for that. Thanks for that, man.